Hey everybody, I am back to share about my most important tips um, about using these products. And I forgot two very important products that we use, mainly because they weren't just sitting right in front of my face. But the first one of that is silver, which is super important. If you feel like you have something coming on, this stuff is a miracle worker. Just 3 times a day. I put like 5 pumps into a spoon, and then I just down that if I'm feeling like a little bit off or something going on. Both Keith and I have used this. Actually, our whole family's used it, and it's made a tremendous difference. So, like I said before, we really don't get sick. We have all the tools in our toolbox, and silver is one of our tools. So that is important to have on hand because you don't want to start kind of feeling wonky and not have it on you. So it's a staple to have in your house. The other staple is skin defense. I keep this in my gym bag, and it is way better for you to use than hand sanitizer. So use this instead. I also recommend keeping one in your car because you never know where you're going to be and the crazy stuff you might touch. So keep one in your car, keep one in your gym bag. So those are two really important products to have on hand and to just, to be able to have them accessible when you need them. So as far as my tips go, I'm going to start with on track. This says to take it 15 to 20 minutes before a meal and to down a glass of water. If you can do that, great, do it. I find that sometimes I forget, and it's like 5 minutes before we're getting ready to eat, and then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna take one, or take two. Actually, take two of these, but do it. Just do it. It's not gonna hurt you, and I feel like it still helps. So even if you miss that 15 to 20 minute window, still take the On Track. The stuff is amazing. Next, I already told you my trick on the mask. So just as a refresher, if you don't have time to get this on your face, the mask, and put it on. If you do, great, do it. And you can do it for longer than the 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, I've kept it on there as long as an hour before, I'm watching a show and put on the mask. But a lot of times I'm so busy, I just don't have time to have that downtime. So what I do is I tear this thing open, I put my hand in there, and I get the serum, and I'm getting this on my face twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. So do this. The other thing that I didn't mention is first thing when I wake up in the morning, I go ahead and, I've washed my face the night before. Before I head to the gym, I will put on another layer of toner, serum, and emulsion and cream. I'll do that before I go to the gym. And then I'll do the gym, and then I come back, and depending on what's going on, at least I have it on my face and it's working until I can get my shower, and then I'll do it all again, and then I do it at night. So a lot of times I'm putting the stuff on my face 3 times a day. So that was my other tip. Okay, the other thing is, how I said you need to take the organic sulfur morning and night. And my tip is you can mix this with any kind of beverage you want to. It's fine. You can do that. Find out what works best for you. I find what works best for me is heating up 2 to 3 ounces of water in a coffee mug, put the 2 scoops of the sulfur in there, and down that. If I'm having a particularly tough day, let's say the allergies, high season allergy time frame, I'm going to do this 3 times a day. It's important to do it on an empty stomach. So that's why first thing in the morning is great. Probably midday before you put anything on your stomach, for lunch, and then in the evening. So before you go to bed when your stomach's empty. So that's when I do the sulfur, and that's how I do the sulfur. And then I follow it with something yummy to drink, such as the Energize. in the morning. And then in the evening, I'm following it up with this calcium NK. So my biggest tip for this calcium NK is to, first of all, you're gonna shake it. You're gonna shake it really well before you serve, right? Any of our things you're gonna shake really well. That's a liquid. And my biggest tip is this stays refrigerated. When you put it in your refrigerator, turn it upside down. That way, the air doesn't get to it and it doesn't get gooky. So I keep mine stored upside down in the fridge. That's one of my big tips. My other tip has to do with the sulfur and the me. Here we go, me. Do not take your sulfur and me at the same time. You want to at least have an hour between taking the sulfur and the me. So that's why I do my me either mid-morning, but I do my sulfur first thing in the morning. So then I wait till about 10:30 or so to do my me collagen probiotic. You also need food on your stomach. You need something on your stomach with the me because it's a probiotic. And so don't do this on an empty stomach. You need something on your stomach. The other thing, little tip I have is Aqualine. So Aqualine, you want to have food on your stomach with Aqualine, okay? And you want to drink Aqualine, when you have food on your stomach, and B, afterwards, after you drink it, you want to get up and move your body. So you want to be in a situation where you're moving your body around. That's going to be key. So that is Aqualine. And I think I mentioned before, my other tip with this is to add greens. It's a great way to get your greens in. So you can do this at lunch. Have your lunch, have your Aqualine and a scoop of greens. It tastes so yummy. So that, I believe, is everything that I wanted to cover, other than I just want to make sure there's clarification on superfruits, because when you're doing the individual superfruits, you are doing 1 ounce of each, and you can do it twice a day. You can do it morning and evening. Just kind of listen to your body. And then Fusion, just so you know, Fusion, you need 4 ounces of Fusion to equal the same as the 4 ounces you're getting from the other superfruits. And then the Goyen, you're doing 1 to 2 ounces in the morning is best, morning, empty stomach, and evening, I like to do it right before I eat dinner because I have an empty stomach then. So those are my tips, Tracy's tips. I hope you enjoy. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions at all. All right, guys, take care.